I agree. I wonder what the Rams got to say about that.
Player to watch. I'm not gonna talk about the Honey Badger. I'm not gonna talk about Patrick Peterson. Rob Hausler, tight end for the Cardinals. This guy is 6'5", 250 pounds. In the combine, ran a 4.46 40. We don't know about him because he had to stay in and block because that offensive line was dumpster juice. But think about it. Who knew about Brandon Myers of the Oakland Raiders last year? Who? Not you. Who else knew? Nobody knew this guy. But you know what?
Michael Myers.
But you know what? They didn't have a good line in Oakland. Carson Palmer went to his guy. This guy could develop a link between him and Carson Palmer. And if he does, look out because Coach Arians wants to go deep.
Long and deep.
Speaking of going long, one of my favorite players, Chris Long, plays for St. Louis Rams. Tell us about him, Rashad.
I got the Rams. First, let me applaud Jeff Fisher. He finally realized you can't keep having, or better yet, let me say this. He know that he got to add to that line. He know he no longer has Steven Jackson. He know this is not back in the day with Tennessee when you got McNair and you got Eddie George. So they made some moves. Free agency when they got Jake Long. They got Jake Long, an offensive tackle, and they also went out and got Jerry Cook as a tight end. Now we got Sam Bradford, he's a quarterback. It's not bad, but they lost 2 wide receivers. They lost Danny Amendola and Brandon Gibson. One went to the Patriots, the other went to the Dolphins. But guess what? Sam Bradford is young, so you know what they did? They said, hey, I'm going to get some young wide receivers. They went to the draft, got Tavon Austin, and got Stedman Bailey. Both of them was wide receivers. They played for West Virginia. You got that. Now, as far as the running back battle, they went ahead and got Derek Richardson. I mean, well, they already had him, but he's going to be the starting position. Now, defense, that secondary might get tore up. Because basically what it's about, they're young. They don't have them experienced safeties they had before. And in the draft, they got T.J. McDonald, which he's going to automatically start at free safety. And they also got cornerback Brandon McGee. He's going to play more of the nickel action. But the starters are going to be, as far as safeties go, supposed to be T.J. Donald and Dorian Stewart. But he did suffer a soft tissue tear. So now they're saying it might be Rodney McLeod. That's pretty much like 2 free safeties out there at the same time. I don't know exactly how they're going to handle all that. Like I said, that secondary is not looking all that great. It looked like they're trying to go in a bit of a good direction on the offense. That's why I am.
So, Chris Long and company, what do you expect out of them?
I can't really say. I mean,
his facial expression says it all.
I can't really too much say. I think at this point they just adding. They trying to figure out what's gonna go. I mean, like I said, you got a running back and you got a quarterback that's not what Fisher's used to coaching. So I'm just gonna be honest with that. I mean, he like them bruisers, quarterback or running back, and of course they got bruised, and it shortened their career. At least one of them, but hey.
Crystal ball. How do you guys feel about the NFC West? Who do you guys see coming out of the NFC West? Who do you think is going to be the doormat on the NFC West? Or do they have any doormats? Smitty, what do you think?
I don't know. The Rams had the best record in the division last year. And that's kind of scary with the 49ers and the Seahawks in that division.
Well, the Rams are a very competitive team.
Yeah.
I mean, now I'm not the biggest Jeff Fisher fan as far as coaching is concerned because I think he does run his skill position players into the ground. However, the one thing you can always count on with his guys, they're going to give you 110% out there on that field. And really, you're supposed to draft and scheme and build teams to win the division because when you get in the playoffs, anything goes. So I actually like them, but I do think they're going to finish last in the division. That's just me.
Like Mike said, Arizona, that might be the surprise of the whole division. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of Carson Palmer. Sorry.
Mike.
Wow.
I have to agree. I mean, I'm not a fan of Carson Palmer either. Ever since that knee injury, he hasn't been the same, hasn't had the same confidence. But if you look at what he did in Oakland last year, threw for over 4,000 yards with, who was their leading receiver? Denarius Moore and
Streeter.
Hayward Bay and
What?
Streeter
What?
and Brandon Myers
What?
and Run DMC.
Marcel Reese and the fullback.
Let's say this, Darren McFadden. He doesn't need a nickname anymore. He's just McFadden until he can stay on the field. Carson Palmer made that offense halfway relevant. What is he gonna do with a Larry Fitzgerald and a Mendenhall and a Floyd and a Andre Roberts?
And that's why I said I have to defend Carson Palmer. I'm not the biggest Carson Palmer fan, but you guys are saying that you're not crazy about him. And this guy has, okay, when he hurt his knee some years back, I think he had confidence issues in that pocket. And by the time he got himself together, which took about 2 to 3 years, Chad Johnson's skills severely eroded.
But not his mouth.
No, not his mouth, but see, that the mouth is what got him checks. And I like Chad, but I mean, Father Time is undefeated.
Well, I mean, did his skills eroded?
Are we talking about Palmer or Johnson?
Johnson. Oh, we just found out he don't know how to read a playbook.
I don't think it's that Chad Johnson couldn't read a playbook. I think Chad Johnson's skills just eroded by the time that Carson Palmer got back to a, I won't say elite status, but to a higher tier. However, when you look at the weapons that Carson Palmer has in Arizona, he has Floyd, he has Roberts, he has the tight end, he has Fitzgerald. He has a lot of weapons. And you also have Mendenhall who can eat up the clock. Mendenhall is a pretty good runner. I have no idea why he's not in Pittsburgh anymore. I think that Carson Palmer could be that bridge from him to the new guy, whoever that's going to be at some point in time. So I think it's perfect that he's there, and I think that Larry Fitzgerald is going to be an all-pro again.
And I think it'll open up more for Michael Floyd, being that he had an off rookie year.
Hey,
Yeah, no quarterback, so.
no argument here. Anytime,
He's technically a rookie this year because he had no
it might
quarterback.
be coming out for it.
anytime you play with Skelton, Cobb,
Lindley,
I don't even like calling him Cobb anymore.
Brian Hoyer.
I don't like it. It's just horrible. Kevin Cobb is horrible.
St. Pierre, they also.
But I know we're talking about Arizona and they can be sneaky. This division is so good because all the teams are sneaky. I know everybody's not a fan of St. Louis, but I'm gonna focus on the defense. This defense plays, I'm gonna hit you in the mouth
Yes.
type play. And that's why they beat San Francisco last year, because San Francisco hit them in the mouth, and then St. Louis came back and was like, I'm gonna hit you back in the mouth. And San Francisco was like, oh my God, what do we do now? Chris Long is a beast.
Jane Laurinaitis.
Laurinaitis lives to hit you.
Yes. He's a road warrior.
Robert Quinn is the second coming of John Abraham, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Exact same skill set. Long arms, fast. Cortland Finnegan is going to fight you on the edges.
He's going to get on your nerves.
Janoris Jenkins is waiting to Asante Samuel somebody. I mean, this defense, if it wasn't for those safeties, I mean, this defense just lives to just bust you in the mouth, and that's how Fisher likes to run it. So, I mean, they may be last, but they're going to make this division pay.
They only last because somebody has to finish last.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only reason that they're last. I think that this division oozes talent. And it's just because they sucked for so long, they got the right draft picks and this, that, and the other. And it goes like that in cycles. And I think AFC East is that next division that we'll be talking about in 5 years because of the suckage and the growth. That's just how it goes. NFC West was that division. So now they're elite because you have San Francisco that's a top tier team. Seattle is a top tier team. You know, the only thing that scares me about San Francisco.
Yeah, but both of them had the same deficiency. Both of their key receivers hurt. And they're going to hurt them a little bit, but not because of that defense.
If Sidney Rice can come back and give you 70% of what he is, I think that can cover up the fact that that Harvin's out.